Hi guys, welcome to Giving Series by Kikelomo Solomon-Ayeni, and I am happy that you're here today. I want to share with you a story on how I gave a huge seed to God. Like, it's more money though, but then it was big money. There's this program in my church called Shiloh. It happens every December. And I remember that year, 2005, when I went, I was sitting outside. I think I was sitting at the open entrance. We had the pastor come to teach, and he was talking about violent singing, violent praises to God. Talk about violent giving. And I can't remember the other thing he said, but I think he gave instances of people who had given and testimonies that came about. If I cannot even remember the topic for the day, but violent giving, I was thinking, okay, what's the biggest thing I've given to God aside from probably giving tithes here and there? I'm saying, okay, so this is not tithes right now. I want to give God something, and I did not have anything then, so I gave 2,000 naira. It was all I had. All I could get, I gave it to God. I said, okay, so God, I'm giving you like an end of the year sacrifice, saying thank you for being so good to me in the course of the year. Take this 2,000 naira. That's what I have. That's what I have. And I gave God that money then. I cannot remember what happened the following year really, but there's another major sacrifice that I know that I gave, and that was the beginning of remembering how my life used to be after giving those sacrifices. So this was 2009. I had gone to learn photography in August that year. Early that year, I felt the Lord say to me that photography is what He wanted me to do, or He wanted me to learn photography skill. And I did not know how to go about it. I did not have transport fare. By then, my mom was no longer in our life, and my dad had financial issues, so my allowance was no longer anywhere to be found. Remember in my previous video I was talking about I get allowance so there was no allowance anywhere, and I was like, God, you want me to learn photography and I don't know where to start from. Transport fare, no, and I did not want to learn in my area. I didn't want Lady K photo. I did not want to be Lady K photographer. Not like it was bad, but most of the Lady K, Lady B, Lady C that I saw around, I did not like the kind of pictures they took. So I was saying, God, if you want me to learn this photography, just show me where. And somebody just came to visit my sister one day and said, oh, and I met a photographer at an event. Here's this card. This card is so beautiful. Why don't you reach out? And I reached out. I remember I realized it was in Ikeja, very, very far from where I was staying. And I prayed to God, Lord, I need transport fare to go to this place. If you want me to go there, then I always need transport fare to go to Ikeja to learn photography. So the story of how I always got transport fare, that's just for another day. But remember, I said something in my previous video about tithing, and I realized that I always found myself going there. I may not have money to come the next day, but by that morning something will happen in 500 naira that will take me to Keja. Then I will find, sometimes I slept in the office many times, there's no money to go back home, but God saw me through. And December that year, I remember going to God again at the end of the year in Shiloh, and I really didn't have anything to give. And I'm saying, okay, so Lord, I'm tired of this 2,000 I give you. I want to be able to give you more, but I just don't have the more. Okay, so I decided to make a pledge, and I'm like, God, in the course of 2010, I'm going to give you 50,000 naira. I will give you 50,000 naira. I don't know how. This is me that did not have money to go to learn photography. This is me that my boss is who's teaching me photography, who did not collect any money from me, because he realized, one, this girl did not have money, two, she does not have a sponsor, three, our house is really very far, but four, she has passion. So he waived almost about maybe 50,000 naira worth of training fee. He waived training fee. Yet sometimes when I come, he says, I am not eating, give me money to buy something to eat. Sometimes you say, oh, you don't have transport fare to go home, don't sleep in the studio today, take transport fare, go home, it should be enough to bring you back tomorrow. So that this is me, that it's the person that is teaching me photography that is also helping my life. Now I am telling God that I want to give him 50,000. as I'm making a pledge right now. And remember that somewhere in the Bible that we should not make a pledge that we cannot fulfill, and this is me saying, God, I want to give you 50,000 naira next year. Don't worry, I'll give you 50,000 naira. So because I didn't know how to get 50,000 naira, so what I did was that every time money came into my hand, I was first going to remove my 10% tithe, and then I was going to remove another sum towards my 50,000. Okay, so let's say I got 1,000 naira gift, so I removed 100 naira for tithe, then I take 500 naira out towards my 50,000 naira pledge. So then I've taken 100 naira out, I've taken 500 naira, that's 600, and I have 400 naira left. So I will enjoy my 400 naira with joy. It's really very little, because 400 naira is just one way transport. Let's even say I want to use the money for transport, but I kept saying I need to give towards my 50,000. But I just realized that gradually I was having 1,000 naira, 1,500, so I was giving it, and I was keeping record of all my giving. I was keeping record, and I realized that it was moving forward. My 50,000 naira was gradually reducing, and I was doing it with joy. Honestly, I was doing it with joy. I just wanted to be able to give God more. I wanted to be, I don't, giving to God just makes me happy. Like, I just feel like, I don't, honestly, like, I don't even know how I feel.